How are you leaving people in your communication? Let's talk about it. But first, I'm Dr. Maisha, and I help organizations and communities create environments where their people feel seen, heard, respected, valued, and welcome. And I do that through helping them create trust and psychological safety through trauma-informed communication. I was listening to this book a couple of months ago, the 16 Irrefutable Laws of Communication. And he talks a lot about communicating with audiences when you're speaking. And there's this point where he talks about, as you're creating a talk, how do you want to leave your audience? And here are 4 questions to ask. So what do you want your audience to see? What do you want your audience to know? And what do you want your audience to feel? And what do you want your audience to do? And so, I'm always speaking on stage. In fact, I am preparing to do 2 talks at a conference, and I always ask those questions whenever I am writing my talks, whenever I am creating an experience for an audience. In fact, I think that's one of the most important things is to create an experience with my message, one that leaves them inspired and ready to take action. But I was thinking about this today as I'm, completing my practices for my talks. I'm completing and thinking about, have I fulfilled these 4 questions? Have I fulfilled what I have said I wanted my audience to see, to know, to feel, and to do? Have I fulfilled that? And then I was thinking, this is something that in every interaction with a person, we can consider. As you interact in your communication, if you think about what you want the person you're interacting with to see in your communication, what you want them to hear in your communication, what you want them to feel, what you want them to know as you communicate with them. If you sort of think about that as you're communicating, or even before you let the words come out of your mouth, then you communicate much more intentionally. And knowing what you want them to get out of the communication will also have you clarify that they've actually gotten what you wanted them to get. So as you move forward in your communications with people for the rest of the day and even the rest of the week, ask yourself, as you're interacting with each person throughout the day, and I don't care if it's your family members, if you're a leader in an organization interacting with your staff, with your colleagues, if you are at the grocery store checkout line communicating with someone, what do you want them to see as you communicate with them? What do you want them to hear? What do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to know coming away from the communication? How do you want to leave a person every time you communicate? So if you are an organization and you know that there are some struggles in interactions in the daily dynamics of communication with the organization, I invite you to invite me into a conversation about what are all the ways that we could potentially work together, whether it's coaching individuals in your organization, or whether it's coming in to do specific trainings for the organization around trust and safety and communication, or whether it's offering courses to the people who may need them the most. Reach out to me on this platform, or you can visit mindremappingacademy.com. All right. So go off and reflect on these 4 questions. And until the next time I see you, stay empowered.